Hello everybody and welcome to another 1/6 review. Today I'm taking a special early look at the latest offering from the 1/6 company 3Q. I have to thank the guys at TF Direct for making this video possible. This is 3Q's, I would say, third party attempt at Mr. Vin Diesel himself in his role as the last Witch Hunter. Opening up the box, we're greeted by a very convincing sculpt of Vin Diesel. We have three different sets of hands. We have his sword, we have his shotgun, and we have flames. We get two variations of stand. We get a crotch grabber and a waist hugger. Now, straight off the bat, the first thing that really got me was the sheer heft of the weaponry. The shotgun detailing is absolutely superb, and its die cast is just sheer heft there. You can put the bullets or cartridges, I don't really know how you use the shotgun, but they just slide in and out of there, and there's just so much weight. Lovely detailing and sculpt there on the handle. That's pretty darn accurate to the movie. The sculpt itself is very nice. The resemblance to Vin Diesel is alarming. He just looks straight at your soul and tells you to jump out of a plane in a car. The body they've used is a nice solid body, again a lot of heft to it. The skin tone on the neck and the body is slightly different to that of the head. I imagine that's something they're going to rectify with the final product. The body itself is probably not quite muscular enough. It's a good representation. It's a very good body that they've used, but Vin put on more muscle mass around his shoulders. He's got a much broader appearance. Maybe it's just a little bit too slim and slender for him. I do love the fact that we get a nice sword strap, which is attached via almost a leatherette kind of material, and we can bring that across the chest. As far as clothing goes, the clothing is very close to what he wore in the film. The only difference is I believe he had a few buttons on this shirt in the movie. He even comes with his band on his wrist. You know, they've thought of pretty much everything. Now, the straps used to support the sword are actually laced up, so you could, if you wanted to, undo the laces and tie them sections up around the shotgun as well and have that strapped on to his back like he does in the movie. I personally prefer the sword being held on the back and the shotgun in his hand, but it's nice that they've included the ability to mount that on his back. Getting in close and personal and taking a look at the detailing on the face sculpt. There's a couple of different Vin Diesel sculpts on the 1/6 market now, and I have to be honest, I think this is one of the very best sculpts I've seen. The detailing on him is absolutely impeccable. Absolutely love how he looks. Really great paint applications. 3Q have impressed me with what they can deliver. Their heads they released for the likes of Fury and the Arrow figure. They've got a Barry Allen in the works as well. I just love how this guy looks. I love how the light is captured in his eyes. Such nice detailing. You've got that shadow from the undergrowth of beard. You've got the nice detailing on the head where he's shaved his hair, where it's receded around the lines. You've got that very prominent vein above the eyes. And look at that nose. That is a very good Vin Diesel nose. Poor guy, that's quite a big one, isn't it? Now, for those of you that like to see the body of the figures, as you can see what I mean there, it's got nice detailing on it. It's got almost got like a rubbery overlay texture, but the actual size itself is probably a little bit too small and slender. It's a muscular build, but I stand by that maybe he could do with putting on a few pounds. Taking a look at some of the alternative hands, he has an open palm. Again, he's got that nice ring on the finger there. Nice veins throughout. Again, very good paint applications, very in keeping to the paint that's used on the head. Very similar shade. Nice little nails there, and again the palms have been done with some nice shadowing. We get a sword wielding hand and a trigger finger hand. Again with the ring and good shading. And again we get slightly open hands for holding like the shotgun or holding the sword. The hands are on very thick, strong pegs, much like we get with Hot Toys. There's no real fear of the hand pegs breaking. I mean, that's a really fantastic look for him there. He's really concentrating on his blade. That's a really nice sword. Now we actually get two variations of this flame effect for the sword, and it's very convincing as the light hits it. I love how the flames kind of just flick up from the sword. It's a very nice and very realistic effect. Now how these actually work, they're kind of like a sheath, and the actual sword itself slides inside the flames. That's a very nice mechanism, and it's a very convincing way of doing it. I really like it. Now I initially had concerns as to whether he'd be able to support the weight of the weaponry. They're very heavy guns, but the answer is yes, and he manages to pull off a very natural pose with super stiff joints. See, now I like that. I like how that looks. You definitely need some heft or bulk around those shoulders, though. Kind of like what you get with the thigh extenders. Maybe they need to do something similar, maybe like a muscle suit, or maybe a more muscular torso, just to bulk him out around the upper body there. But it's definitely a very nice representation of Vin Diesel. Right, let's cover the articulation. The articulation for most 1/6 figures is pretty much the same. We have the head, it can look up that much. We can look down, we can go kind of left and right. We can get a quizzical Vin Diesel. That was terrible. Yeah, the head can wheel around up and down. The shoulders can come out to the side. We can go forwards and we can go backwards. We have a very tight single jointed bend at the elbow. Would have liked a double joint there, which is a shame. You can get a fair bit of motion on the wrists. They can tilt upwards and downwards. The joints are tight enough as well so that the wrist doesn't cave in under the weight of that die-cast weaponry. They have textured the arms, giving it some detailing. The skin tone is still slightly different to what we get with the head, but it's nice. The abs can crunch forwards and backwards. They can go side to side, and we have some rotation in there. The thighs can come all the way forwards and back. They can come out to the side. There's an upper thigh rotation. We have a nice bend at the knee there, and yeah, coming down to the ankles, there is a cut above the ankle which allows for a rotation. We can also move the feet forwards and backwards and some side-to-side motion. Now, they've nailed Vin Diesel's feet and shoes. There's a lot of criticism over the shoes with the Arrow figure, saying they're about 15 sizes too big. These are very in keeping with the figure, and I think they've done a good job. Here he is alongside Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, I think this is going to make a lot of the Fast and Furious fans happy. I think these two look absolutely fantastic together. What great scaling. Now, let me know your thoughts about the Last Witch Hunter in the comments section below. It's a good solid figure. It's definitely on par with the likes of Hot Toys and Asmus for the build quality. The paint apps aren't exact for the neck and the head, but I am hoping this is something they're going to rectify with the final product. This is still a pre-production sample, let's not forget that. It's really nice having some die cast in the weaponry. It's very much like we got with the dragon in Dreams figures. It's a very close representation to Vin Diesel's sculpt on the head is absolutely sublime. Yes, the body could probably use some bulking out, but that's a nice easy body switch if anybody wants to do one. I personally may get a padded suit or just pad those shoulders out a little bit because it really does look like him, and they've done a splendid job. If you'd like to check out my Arrow video, I will include a link on the side here. And until next time, from myself and the 3Q Vin Diesel, thanks for watching, goodbye.